Guys, welcome back to the Strong Dad Show. Apologies, it's been a while. It's been a few weeks, maybe a month or so since I've put out another episode, so apologies for the delay, but I'm back. Just needed to take a little break, and for the reason which I'm going to share on today's episode. So welcome back to the Strong Dad Show. I'm your host, and today's a big one, guys. Today is a big one. So if you've been following Strong Dads for a while, you know why we started this. You know the mission. You know that we're here to build better fathers, stronger families, and tighter communities. And ultimately, we're here because we looked around and saw too many dads, especially those transitioning out of the military, but really sort of dads from all walks of life, fighting their battles completely alone. And today, I get to share some news that changes the game for us dads. StrongDads CIC has just been awarded a grant of £19,900 from the National Lottery's Community Funds Awards for All. £19,900. That is not just money, brother. That is validation. That is the National Lottery looking at what we are trying to do for fathers and saying, yes, this matters, go build it. Now, this funding is going directly into launching our flagship 12-month project, and we're calling it From Isolation to Brotherhood. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to break down exactly what this means, where this money is going, and most importantly, what it means for you. Because whether you're listening to this in anywhere in the world, but especially if you're in South Wales, this project is built for you. So before we talk about the solution and the reason the project, or the objectives of the project, we have to talk about the problem. Why did we apply for this funding in the first place? Why did the National Lottery agree that this is urgent and important? We are facing a silent crisis as dads. And I use the word silent deliberately because as men, and particularly as fathers, we are conditioned not to talk about it. But the statistics are brutal, okay? Men are 3 times more likely to die by suicide than women. Let that sink in. 3 times. Men are 3 times more likely to die by suicide than women. And between you and I on this podcast, have a think about this. There is more chance of me taking my own life than you or anyone else taking my life. There is more chance of you taking your own life than me or anyone else trying to take your life. And when you look at new fathers, a massive percentage are experiencing perinatal depression and severe anxiety. But they are falling completely through the cracks of the healthcare system because all the focus, rightly but exclusively, is on the mother and the baby. Then you add the physical side. Nearly 70% of men in the UK are overweight or obese. And we know, anecdotally and statistically, the fitness falls off a cliff when a man becomes a father. We are tired, we are stressed, we are working to pay the bills, especially now with the cost of living crisis. And the first thing that we sacrifice is ourselves. You sacrifice your health, your mates, and your time. You wake up one day, your kids are 3 or 4 years old, and you realize you haven't had a proper conversation with another man, about anything real in months. And it dawns on you that you are completely isolated. Now, that isolation is dangerous. It impacts your mental health, it impacts your physical health, and inevitably, it impacts your family. Because you cannot be the rock that your family needs if you are crumbling on the inside. And that is what Strong Dads is here to fix. We believe that by supporting the father, we strengthen the foundation of the entire community. So, what are we actually doing about it? What is From Isolation to Brotherhood? Bear with me, I'm going to get a drink and I'll tell you in a second. If you can hear me walking back, I'm trying to keep these podcasts a little more raw now. I'm trying to keep them a little more raw and a little less edited. So I'm just getting a nice energy drink. So, what are we actually here then? Well, what are we actually here for? What are we going to do about this problem? What is From Isolation to Brotherhood? It is a 2-pronged attack on isolation. We are building a community that exists both in the dirt and in the digital world. Now first, the physical side. Thanks to this national lottery funding, we are establishing 3 regional outdoor training hubs across South Wales. We are launching in Merthyr, we are launching in Caerphilly, and we are launching in Cardiff. Now, these aren't going to be your standard commercial boot camps where you pay 15 quid to get yelled at by a PT for an hour and then go home without speaking to anyone. These are StrongDads hubs. We are running early morning outdoor training sessions come rain or shine. We'll be doing group workouts, rucking, resilience challenges, using the beautiful, natural Welsh landscape to get fit. But the fitness is just the Trojan horse. The real work happens in the shared suffering. It happens when you are carrying a sandbag up a hill next to another dad who is dealing with the exact same sleepless nights and stress that you are. And here is the most important part, and this is a non-negotiable for us. These sessions will be 100% free at the point of access. We know the cost of living crisis is biting hard. So we refuse to let money be a barrier to men improving physical and mental health. So if you can get yourself to the park, you are in. It's completely free. There is nothing holding you back other than your own mindset. But we also know that meeting up once a week or even once a month isn't enough to sustain a brotherhood. That's where the second prong comes in, and that's the StrongDads online community. We are expanding our online platform to connect over 500 Welsh dads through this project with the aim of building up to 1,000 dads globally in 2026. Now, this is where the daily support happens. It's where we'll host structured wellness programs, educational resources, and peer support channels, buddy, and accountability. If you're having a rough Tuesday night, you don't have to wait until the Saturday morning to talk to the boys. The Brotherhood is in your pocket. Now, I can't be in Merthyr, Caerphilly and Cardiff and managing the online community all at the same time. And honestly, I shouldn't be. This isn't about me. This isn't about me being the leader. It's about the community leading itself. A massive chunk of this national lottery grant is going directly into training and equipping our volunteers. So we are recruiting and training 6 volunteer facilitators, 2 for each hub. We are putting these men through a rigorous onboarding program. And when I say we're putting them through them, these haven't been confirmed yet. So if you're listening to this episode and you live in Merthyr, Caerphilly or Cardiff and you want to get involved with StrongDads and potentially be a facilitator of one of our hubs, please get in touch. Reach out to us on Instagram at StrongDads_. Now, as I mentioned, we're putting these men through a rigorous onboarding program, and they aren't just learning how to run a safe workout. We're putting them through level 2 mental health, first aid, and advocacy qualifications. We're putting them through an awareness of running outdoor fitness activities, how to lead, how to structure the workout, and we're training them on how to actively listen, how to spot when a bloke is struggling, and how to signpost him to professional help if he needs it. Now, this kind of broad spectrum role, not necessarily the captain, but handling everything to make sure everything runs smoothly. In rugby, we call this role 9, the scrum half. The guy who connects the forwards and the backs, who keeps control of the tempo, who sees the whole field, and who makes everyone around him better. That's what our facilitators are. They are the heartbeat of their local hubs, and each facilitator will be a 9 for their StrongDads hubs. And like I said, if you're listening to this and thinking, I could do that, I want to set up a hub for my community, then reach out. We're looking for 9s right now. Doesn't have to be Merthyr, Caerphilly and Cardiff. If you want to set up your own hub in Oregon, USA, in Toronto, Canada, in Glasgow, Scotland, then reach out. We are looking for 9s just like you who want to set up their own StrongDads hub. So, back to this project then. What is the timeline? We're moving fast. Over the next few weeks, you are going to start seeing banners going up in local gyms and community centres, starting with our Caerphilly hub in Park Penalta, and we are buying the equipment, the sandbags, the kettlebells, the slam balls, all that stuff. We're getting ready to get launching. We're building the foundation so that when we launch these hubs, they are built to last. Now, this grant covers us for 12 months, but we are designing this to be a self-sustaining network that outlasts the funding. We want these hubs to be a permanent fixture in these communities for years to come. So, as I mentioned, if you are a dad, here is what I need you to do today. Go to strongdads.uk. Get yourself on the list. Join our online community. It costs you nothing but a few minutes of your time. And if you know a dad who is struggling, who has gone quiet in the group chat, who you know is carrying too much weight on his shoulders, please send him this podcast, because we've got so much exciting things going on. Not for men just to get involved with as a member, but for men to get involved with as a leader. So send him this podcast, send him the link to the website. Tell him that he doesn't have to do this alone anymore. And I want to finish by saying a massive thank you to the National Lottery Awards for All and to all National Lottery players. Because every time you guys buy a ticket, you are funding projects exactly like this. You are directly helping us get men out of isolation and into brotherhood. And this is just the beginning. The hard work starts now. So get outside, lift something heavy, call a mate, and hopefully I'll see you in the dirt. Strength and honour.